What's up, guys? Welcome to Crypto Cartel, late night DGen live stream for you guys. It's Friday, late night. Some people are out at bars partying. We're here staring at the Bitcoin chart at all time highs because we know money doesn't sleep. There's money to be made in the market, and we're coming to you guys live right now with the best altcoins to buy during Bitcoin's all time high, which I think we're probably minutes away, if not seconds. So, with that said, we're going to show you guys what's going on in the market and, yeah, get into the best altcoins we think present the best opportunity now as Bitcoin goes higher. So, you want to kick us off, Alex?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, welcome guys. We had a question about tweet, so we'll get to that in a second. The ticker is tweet, just FYI. But first, let's get started with Bitcoin. All right, so I cleaned up the charts here for this one. I know it was a bit messy before, but kind of going to go over what we've had in the past, what we projected, and where we are right now, right? So kind of quickly, I took a poll from here to here, and we met that target, right? Exactly where we're at right now. We had a wick, came back down, and we're trying to push up again, right? The bigger pull for Bitcoin right now is at around 113, 114 price area, and obviously we're in price discovery, so we could probably continue to go higher on that end. And then if we're looking at the specifically, if we're going to start looking at the daily, this is one I was interested in, and one of the things that I've been posting about on our group chat. If you're not following, make sure to follow. But it's this trend here, right? I'll just ignore this target here. It was this trend that I was looking at over the last few days, and I said if we broke this, then we're going to go lower into maybe like the 90s or the 80s, right? And I had this target of like 85 around this area here. But we never did that. We we went up, we made all time high, and then we just dumped from 104 all the way down to 90. So 14K drop, within a few hours or maybe like minutes. But essentially, we had that. We came back in, we closed higher and higher, and then we're look those wicks. We're continuing to respect this trend, right? So what does this tell us? It tells us that we're still really bullish. A lot of fake out, a lot of liquidations. So this shouldn't be a surprise, right? These wicks, nasty wicks here, same thing, right? But if we start looking at where we're gonna go next, I'm pretty bullish until we start breaking this trend here. And so what I have is a let's see. So what I have here is like almost like a flag or like a rising wedge, right? And these usually break out parabolic. And when I start looking at this, I'm going to take the pull from here to here to see what our next targets are, right? And again, I say this because when I start looking at the daily, we on the RSI specifically, we're looking ready to cross this one here, and we're ready to go into higher highs, right? Stochastics, we haven't flipped yet. If we flip back down, then yeah, we're gonna go lower. But this could easily just be a little fake out, and we can continue to pump again, right? And kind of like this, right? It looks like we're about to flip, but no, just kidding. We continue to flip up and we continue to pump, right? So essentially what I'm seeing here is another run, which kind of reminds me of the run that we had back in 2017 towards Christmas. We just went from like I don't know 6K to 20K, which is a great run. But this does line up with my other target that I had previously on my other charts into the 130s region. Now, do we chop from there? Possibly. Do we pull back? Maybe, but again, I wouldn't see any pullbacks yet until we break this trend, right? So expect, bullish from here. Below this, I would see us a little lower, maybe in the 90s, if not the 90s, then the 80s, right? But again, looking bullish. This could happen. I would say I don't know, maybe this weekend or so. But yeah, then we'll move on to total three. But before that, do you want to add anything to Bitcoin?
Yeah, I want to just share something really quick. Just
Word.
as you're drawing that pattern, it looks really familiar, and it's very similar to, if you remember, this range last March. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
So if you remember this, like this was like a brutal range, right? Like fake out after fake out, both to the up and down side. We had just come out of the low at 16K here, and people weren't sure if we're gonna get back in that range or was it flagging. We went sideways from March to October, and again seasonality last year, right? In October we broke out, and you can see this right here on the right side of the screen is very similar to exactly what
Actually,
you just showed, right?
Jesus, yeah, that's a good fractal. Holy shit.
So again, like what is going on here on underlying like buyer seller dynamics, right? Like again, wedge is every little dip is being aggressively bought essentially, like not even retesting previous support, higher, wick, right? I think this was like a week basically that this happened. Uh, it actually went on for like 3 or 4 weeks like that. And if we go to the current price action, exactly the same thing is playing out, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good
so I
point.
think, like you said, these things break out parabolic. Um, I think as far as the target, it just depends on what happens with the Trump administration, what gets announced. But I think up until inauguration, we're probably bullish, and you can see here this purple line. I've talked about the monthly open strategy in previous live streams, but basically below this, we're bearish, above, we're bullish. And, you can see here once we broke above, it went aggressively higher. So we've tested it now here in we're halfway through the month. It's been tested. All you see below it is wicks. So it's getting aggressively bought. And now we're higher on the daily. Looks like we're going to get a pretty good close on the daily. So just extremely bullish price action. Like no dips are being given, no retest of prior support, just aggressive buying and FOMOing on the charts.
Yeah, it's a good call on the fractal. And fractals usually play out exactly how they are. I've seen plenty of fractals do that. There is a way to take a fractal out of that what you just showed us, and then we could put it here, and then we could see like what the target would be. But that's for another time. Then I want to move on to total three. We talked about total three back in October. When we had started the stream, and I don't know if you remember, Henry, but I gave you this one. If we break this trend, which we almost did, we came back in, and I haven't changed anything, and we just hit the target, right? Uh, and we're going high, and we just breached our last all-time high to
Once
one
the prices got
one
ripped,
6 trillion, dude. So that's big moves here. We had a good pullback, and then we hit the 21 MA, and we continued the pump. The daily looks a little bit bearish on the total three, but if you start looking at the bigger macro level, we're still bullish. Like the bull market's still it's not over, until Bitcoin says it's over, right? But overall, I'm still bullish on this one. We're holding this trend here, which was our last higher high, which means this is just becoming support for now, right? And you want to maintain this. You want to maintain the 1.05 trillion and not go lower. If we do go lower, obviously we're going to see some massive pullbacks. But what I'd like to see here is maybe a little bit more sideways action. Treat it like that, and then respect this trend, and then we continue to see higher highs. In the case that we do decide to pull back, I do want to see these levels hold, right? So like the 9.6, 9.5, 9.6 billion. I'm sorry, 66 to 950 billion to hold, right? We have to hold that, maybe bounce again, and then continue to the upside, or we just hold it here and we continue to rip. So that's something to keep an eye out on to make sure that alt season's still here, and any pullbacks will also cause us to get some bleeding, right? And then let me go to Bitcoin dominance here. All right. So scenarios that I've put out, we've talked about this over the last few weeks, really. We talked about it here, and I actually ended up buying a few alts here at that wick. If you look at it in terms of this, we were doing this was bearish divergence, right? So just for you guys that don't know what bearish divergence is when we're swinging. Let's do the daily. Yeah, when we're swinging, making higher highs on the price, but we're going lower on the RSI, right? On both RSIs. And to me, that was an indication of weakness, right? And so what happens? We broke out of the trend that we've been on since, I mean, when did it start? Like back in November of last year, right? So Bitcoin dominance has been going crazy. We broke down. We broke down, and what happened here? Let me delete this. All we did is we retested, and I sent this one as well to our Telegram group. So there's a scenario that I have short term, right? So we came down, we retested, and we got rejected, right? We could potentially, again, I don't know what reason you know, this would happen or why it would happen. I don't know the exact reason, but Henry, you could pitch in later with your ideas. But there is an idea where we could actually, this could be a cup and handle. We can be coming up here, retest here, and then dump again. Or we could just have this like massive one last time Bitcoin dominance as it's ripping maybe to, I don't know, like 150K, right? It just sucks up all the liquidity. We see Bitcoin dominance going all the way up to here, and then we dump, right? I don't I don't know. I'm looking at this area here for Bitcoin dominance. My, you know, short-term scenario for both of these would be, we get rejected here again, or we just dump all the way back down to like the 40s, or we do that massive pump, and then, we just dump again. But that would be our alt season, right? I mean, alts have been ripping. I mean, besides Sui's been crazy, but Doge hasn't been ripping. So we would have to see what Bitcoin dominance would do. So do you have any thoughts on the on Bitcoin dominance?
Yeah. We can definitely take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I think you covered it well. The one thing I'd say is I think a lot of people were not, a lot of people thought Bitcoin dominance might start in January,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it did last cycle. But, and I kind of thought with the scenario that you described where we push higher, that was my base case. Uh, and I thought that we could push up until inauguration, but you can see we have this really aggressive up channel. And if I try to think through like what happened in the market, like why did Bitcoin peak out the way it did, or BTCD reach these prior highs here that are a form of resistance, even though it's not a price, there's still applies like TA, you can still do TA on this. And what I think happened is a lot of the appointments that Trump was making was really bullish for altcoins. Like he appointed like David Sachs, like another guy, like all these guys are. There's one guy that he appointed that's on the All In podcast that literally is a big LP, big investor in multi-coin capital, which is pretty big into Solana and a lot of altcoins. One of the best funds in the space. So if you think through like fundamentally what changed is everyone realized this new administration is going to be even more bullish than expected. Like an already bullish admin is going to be even more bullish. And, we had this 10% dump, and similar to you, I have the retest there. And I can't think of anything that's going to, unless something new comes out, some unexpected piece of information. I think this is the start of alt season, and what we're seeing is basically the beginning of a downtrend, basically, right? We might push higher, but I just think it's gonna bleed down as alts, as money essentially rotates from Bitcoin into the riskier portions of the market, and we get that crazy alt season that we've all been waiting for, which is it's gonna be pretty quick, guys. Like if you see how long alt season was last cycle, right? We peaked out here in December, right before Christmas, and by uh, it was very aggressive. Basically, 4 months of just aggressive, up only price action for alts. Then it was over. So right now, basically, starting uh, when this happened, mid November till I think March or so, is when most of the money is going to be made. The best opportunities alts are going to start doing crazy stuff like we saw XRP uh, and some of the other coins that we're going to talk about, where the candles literally just it's not even parabolic; it's just vertical, and that's really what we're looking for in the market. So, uh, and anything to add there, Alex, or should we
Yep.
move on?
Yep. Let's get started. Yep.
Yeah, so we can do our usual. Actually, since we have our guest here on our stream, let's take a look at that tweet.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
I think that was the ticker, right? Tweet.
That's the ticker. Yeah. And he said it's at
Um,
1 million market cap. It's already at like 1.1, so it's getting some traction.
is it this one on ETH?
Uh, yeah, can you confirm if this is on ETH? Because I mean, it looks like it is because it is at 1 million market cap, right? Wait, hold
Yeah.
on.
So let's take a look here. So it just came out on yesterday.
All
Brand
right.
new ticker. Something you want to look at. Maybe we'll make this a little educational. Is you want to see volume kind of sustain, right? So, I mean, people liked whatever this is. They liked it right away. Switch over to market cap, and immediately shot up to 600K. Looks like it retested here 400, and now. Uh, so the way these usually play out is the big psychological levels, right? 1 million is one. That's going to be tough to break, and then the other one is 500K. So let's say if you were playing this last night, right, when it came out, once this 500K like flipped to support, you can see this big green candle, right? Like people that bought here are now targeting 1 to 3 million. Uh, but at the same time, like you know, it's going to be tough to break this $1 million region. So someone like me that's looking at the chart fresh, I might not even want to get in before 1 million because this thing could come back down here. Like it could do anything could happen, right? I don't have any way to play this, but let's say it rejects off 1 million and it comes back, flips to support. Now my downside is risk is managed, right? It's measured, and now the risk reward is I'm betting that from one it can go either to 3 or 5. And you'll notice once you start paying attention to like these big psychological levels, there'll be natural like pivot points in the market. Um, so I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. So this is tweet.money, bringing on-chain interactions. That doesn't make any sense.
I think what it's
uh,
trying to say is like, yeah, like send basically doing money within tweets. I guess like you put
well,
their ad handles or something.
well, it's saying bringing on-chain interactions to X. Okay, maybe I just misread it. Bringing. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know what it means yet, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
So, journey and mission, trade in DM. So it's letting you operate on chain on Twitter, right? That's it's a cool concept. I mean, we
Yeah.
already know degens are operating on Telegram bots, right? So it's not a terrible idea. It's I'm intrigued. This to me, I don't like tax 5.5. This is something you basically when you buy and sell, there's a 5% tax. That was kind of popular in the bear market. Now you don't see it as much, so I'm not a fan of that. But it's not unheard of. Um, tweet to burn, rev share, AI tweet agents. I mean, it's a good looking site. I mean, interesting idea. Definitely piques my interest. And let's see, they got 300 followers. No one I know is following, which is not bad. Empowering crypto users to execute on-chain actions through tweet or DMs. So this is kind of like one of the ones we're actually going to talk about today. Imperial. Um, they let people launch meme coins through tweets. One of their products. So I think it's definitely an interesting one. I would have liked something like this. I'd like to see it launched on Solana instead. I haven't really. I don't know if there is an active like AI ecosystem in ETH. To be honest, I don't think there is because the transactions are so high, and that kind of is an obstacle for some people. But
Yeah, so
the
let me take a stab at it. He did say, and I'll look at it really quick. Uh, Anything else you want to add?
um no, I mean I think it's definitely an interesting one. It's gotten more to it. Obviously, you want to. It looks like they only have a demo, and if they if that if they release an actual working product, obviously that would be super bullish. But price, you might want to get in before that. If you're bullish on like this idea. So that's how I'd play it. Wait for 1 million or either 500K.
Or
That'd be my plan.
so he had made a comment on he sent a comment. He said that the Dex tools price is the correct one, not the I'm sorry, the Dex screener. Hold on. Yeah, the Dex tools ones is correct. The Dex screener is not. So I kind of charted out as we were talking. We did hit that 1.1 million here, and so
Oh, the
essentially,
levels are wrong on deck screener.
yeah, basically,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Then
yeah, I
yeah.
mean exactly what he said. Like you see the 500, we like triple bottomed here, which I'll show you another one. I'm looking at trenches, which kind of looks exactly like this. But yeah, we did that, and then what? So what I can see right now in terms of just the TA, I want to see the retest into this 1 million to 900K market cap, and just kind of test it out there. If we close below it, it's bearish, right? It's probably not going to go any further. But if we just kind of like stay above it, or like hit this and continue go sideways, and we continue the next leg, then yeah, this is bullish. But yeah, I mean, I think Henry covered most of it. That was a good breakdown of what it is. I still like the chart. It does look bullish, but again, I would say these levels we can't break it. It would be nice to retest it, maybe add a bag there, and then continue to the upside, right? And then he made another comment. He says, "Look into their automated account." So apparently, they already have an automated account, right? So
So
that's
they
mhm.
could already have like
So
an
yeah,
AI agent.
go back to the share your screen again, and then go back to the website.
Okay. Let me know because I can't see the chat when I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, just yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, go back to your screen.
The website.
Yeah, the
Okay.
website. It says log in. So I think like if you go to log in, like does that mean that you can actually go into it already? You can actually is it like
Um,
a working product?
this is I hope I didn't just get hacked there. What the
Yeah,
fuck
that
was
would not
that?
be great AI crypto gems. So make sure you're not rugging us.
Yeah, I would probably try like a burner wallet. I don't know what that actually does, but
I mean, it says buy now. So if you're actually, I mean, actually, that would be crazy if you could actually buy it like right now. If you could,
yeah, I would just say if you're messing around with like brand new stuff like this, definitely make sure you're using like a brand new wallet that you don't have much money on.
but
Um,
overall, I think the idea looks good. I like it. In terms of how it's going to gain traction in the marketing, that should be another, different story. They're getting any calls in, and I think that's the big thing to get this pumped, right? But overall, I like the idea. It's good.
yeah, I'm just confused why they would launch on ETH instead of Sol. Shows kind of bad judgment, if you ask me. But I mean, maybe there's less competition. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I would expect something like this to be launched on Solar base. That would be the one red flag. But if they're shipping product, they can always add those chains later. So
right.
uh, definitely an interesting one. Um, keep an eye on this one.
That's interesting. It
All right,
creates a
so
wallet. It creates a wallet for you, is what he said. Nice.
it creates a wallet for you through Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can import it
Okay.
to your MetaMask. Word. All right. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the trends we've been seeing, right? Like I think we took a kind of a break a couple weeks from streaming, and the last AI play that we talked about was Rex, I think, right,
Yeah,
Alex?
that's right. The one where he caught uh, a runner.
That was like a 10x live on stream, but basically the market has moved insanely fast from then. Like I actually had here the AI meme coin by market cap, and you can see the top ones were fairly simple. Like Turbo was a ChatGPT thought of like the tokenomics, the name, and everything. Then you had Goat tweeting, and from then it's gone like exponentially faster. Like AIXBT is a crypto analyst. Bully is just like an influencer. So the tech is like really accelerating, and they went from just being like this is called the top AI meme coin category, but they're actually real product, real utility coins disguised as memes. And it's one been, I'd say, the hottest sector in crypto with the most, the most runners up to date, up to through the bull market. So we're gonna cover some of our favorite picks there, but let's just start with like a bird's eye view of what's been going on with the market. I don't know about you, Alex, but I've been basically just focusing on niche sectors of the market. It's been a while since I checked what's actually going on. So Bitcoin, and the other thing you want to check is like think about where we are contextually in the market. Bitcoin's pushing to all-time high. So what's going up the most what has the most strength, right? And so we can check here 24-hour gainers, virtuous protocol, of course.
Typical.
And that's one we talked about on stream last month, right?
Yeah, last month we talked about it when it was around 50 million market cap, I think, and we said we were going to do a deep dive, but we got sidetracked with other gems, and now it's over a billion. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got sidelined on that one. I did not expect it to explode as quick as it did. It's at 2.5 mil now. I personally think it can go higher. So we're gonna deep dive into that. Hyperliquid's almost at $20. Wow. Okay, that was an airdrop. Really outperforming. And Phantom. I think Alex, you've been posting some Phantom calls in the Telegram, right?
Yep, yeah, we caught
So
it from like 65 cents all the way to 130. So we literally a 1x, right?
yeah, the other thing I like to look at is what's down. Like when everything else is up and this is down, like this is like a sign of like get far away from these. Like Link, Uni, Lido. Like if they can't even push up when Bitcoin's bullish, just not gonna make it. Uh, and then top 7 day gainers, Hyperliquid, Aave, Virtuals. I guess Link is just kind of cooling off. Sui and yeah, Virtuals did a 6x in the last 30 days. Let's take a quick look at the top 300. So basically, we're looking for like what's the theme of the market right now, and what we're seeing is it's AI, right? Uh, and it's basically DeFi also with Link and Aave. So Morpho again, DeFi. Chill Guy is making a comeback, 360. Virtuals and Goat AI16Z. So yeah, everything's AI right now. Like that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be looking for new coins. Fart coin. This is one we posted in Telegram at I think the first post we did in Telegram was 40 million, but the first time we talked about it on stream, I think it was like around 20 mil, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it was at 40, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, it was at
maybe that's
40.
just when I was looking at
I
it,
think
but
Farcoin was at like
uh,
5, 6 mil or something.
yeah, and I'm very bullish Farcoin, um, and I'll explain to you guys why. Maybe we'll start off with that one. I think Farcoin, if you guys were around for last cycle and you remember what Shib did, I think Farcoin is going to be the Shib of this cycle, and I'll show you exactly why. And you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he talking about a coin called Fartcoin? Well, uh, the market is sending us a message right now, um, and Fartcoin is actually, I believe, trading at 700 million. Uh, while Goat, if this thing wants to load, Goat, I think is around the same price, right? So we can see here. And you guys remember Goat? We covered Goat around like 250, 300 mil. It is the Doge of this whole meta, right? It was the first AI coin, at least in AI meme coin. But Farcoin, which was supposed to be beta to GOAT, is only 150 million away. So what's going on there? Well, thing about Farcoin is it crosses aisles. Okay, so this is Moonshot. If you guys aren't familiar with Moonshot, it's like the retail on-chain trading app. Top AI coins by volume: Farcoin, GOAT, AI16Z, and basically you have a lot of TradFi guys now talking about Farcoin, basically because they have to. Like, it's such a ridiculous thing that you have to talk about it, whether you hate it, whether you love it. You have to talk about it. It's getting free publicity because of that. Uh, he's saying all publicity is good publicity. The best part, this is the key here. The best part is that the higher Farcoin goes, the funnier it is. Funniest part is when it flips market caps in TradFi darling companies and TradFi people lose their mind. This no other meme coin has that, right? So, I really think I think the headlines write themselves for Farcoin, and I just want to show you guys what SHIB did real quick, because SHIB, it ran from like millions to a billion in like less than a year, and then it ran from 3 billion to 40 billion in 30 days. Do you remember that, Alex? Like how
No, I
crazy that
remember
was?
that. Yeah, I got
So I'll
in,
show
I
you
think.
guys market cap. You were
Yeah,
in?
dude, I remember I threw in like a 1K. I came out with like 18K. It was pretty bad.
Oh, that's wild. And
Yeah.
then you were hooked. So you can
Yeah.
see here on September 30th, market cap is 3.5 billion, which is already pretty high, right? And then 30 days later, here, October 27th, market cap is 40 billion. Insane, right? On an already big market cap, and it still sits at 16 billion to this day. And that's SHIB. That I would say that was the most viral, other than Doge, right? That was the most viral, uh, aggressive gainer that normies bid, right? Because everyone was trying to buy the next goat, right? But I think this cycle, the only thing that sticks out to me that can make that sort of move is Farcoin. And my near-term target's a billion. I think base case we go to either five at a minimum. I think five. Not financial advice. That's my scenario with my analysis, right? On my take on the situation. But my realistic target is 10 to 20 billion is what I'd say. What do you think of that thesis, Alex?
No, I mean, I think it's spot on if we're looking at it with the Doji and I'm sorry, with the SHIB thesis. I think it's spot on. Uh, Now here's the thing: it's when the floodgates open, and if they open, right? I would I
Yeah,
would be very careful because we want to. If it gets to the 20 bill, I'd like to see it on Robinhood, and I like to see it on Coinbase, Binance, and all of these, right?
that's
Otherwise,
here's the thing. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Finish
yeah.
your
So
point.
I would say otherwise, I wouldn't see it that high. If we don't go into the major exchanges, then I guess we could keep it like 2 billion to 5 billion, right? But I think the fact that we're
That's still
not,
a great return.
it is a great, no, absolutely. But the fact that we're not on any exchanges also makes me bullish because we're about to hit a billion, right? And that
That's what I
on
was
its
gonna
own
say.
is very bullish.
Yeah, like Goat is on exchanges. AI16Z, I don't know if it's on exchanges yet. I mean, we can go ahead and check. Turbo is already on Binance. So, and wow, the volume on this thing. I've been keeping up with the volume. I've been posting in Telegram. It was doing 50 million of volume regularly. Now it's up to 100 million. There's just no way that you're looking at this as an exchange and not thinking, how can I get this listed? Because the fees are going to be huge, right? And if we check, there's no big tier one exchange here. BitGet is kind of big, Mexi, but there's no Binance, there's no OKX, there's no Bybit, and it's done all this on chain. So just showing extraordinary potential. I think if you want, it sounds ridiculous looking at those massive green candles, but yeah, Farcoin is my top pick right now to 10 to 20x. Um, so do you want to move on to the next one, Alex?
Yeah, let's do it. What are we looking at now?
Um, I think we can look at AI16Z or no AIXBT.
All right, give me a second. This computer being a little bit slow, but let's.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right now. That's the biggest agent AI agent on virtuals. So if I see I see virtuals pushing up 2.5 billion, I think that thing gets probably repriced as well.
All right. Yeah, give me a second. This thing is acting up. There it is.
You want me to pull it up?
All right. So you said uh, it's getting there. You said it's
AI
AI. What?
XBT.
XBT, right? Oh, word.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at this. This one. I think I read somewhere. I don't know if you sent it to me or I saw it on a tweet, but it does not hurt to have a purple Pepe on, as a symbol. So,
yeah.
but
If you guys aren't familiar with this one, it
yeah,
basically
go ahead.
posts really good alpha, right, on crypto. Like it's competing as like a KOL, if, like the key opinion leader on Twitter,
Yeah, I mean, this one was.
and
I was
it's been
looking at
able to
this.
get.
Oh shit. Actually, you know what? It's kind of annoying, but yeah, I'll look at it on Dex Tools next time. Yeah, no, I mean, just off the bat, look at that. We broke out from this trend. We retest it, and then boom, look at that. We ripped up. Let's see how much we're up. Yeah, about like 30%. I love this. I love the stochastics RSI and the RSI. Had a nice double bottom, and it's ready to go higher. And I mean, I'm not
Looks like a
gonna lie, man.
head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. Also,
Exactly. And these guys, if you go back to any of your coins that have ripped, make sure you're looking at what pattern they had in the 4 hour time frame or in the 12 hour or the daily. The bigger the time frame is and the more they're forming this, the higher the boost is. And that's one thing I've learned the hard way because I accidentally, well, I didn't accident, but I cheated on some of these and they just did some exponential gains. And off the top of my head and shoulders and cup and handle, go look at Arkham. Arkham was a cup and handle. That thing blew up. But anyway, so I see a target of about half a billion, almost half. I'm sorry, half a million, or a million. Yeah, half a billion. So that's a pretty substantial gain from here. I mean, once we break this, let's do really quick. The this here, we're gonna break this. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. If you guys aren't familiar with this, you can go ahead and look up like on Google, just type in trading chart patterns, and you'll see one of these, right? And this is one of my favorite ones to trade. Phantom also had the same thing, right? But essentially, if we're going to look at just that, we're looking at short term, up into the 300 cap. But essentially, what we're going to see here is a pump, right? Maybe to this other all time high, which was 300 million. We see it there, and then we retest here, and then that's when the show starts. So then I would see that overall. This looks very, very bullish. Yeah, nice flag. It's respecting. Chart's looking great, man. So yeah, this is you start buying now, buy the retest, and then confirmation to go higher, right? This looks good, man. This is a runner.
yeah, and we've been sharing this one. I think the fundamental case also in the Telegram. If you don't follow, uh, you can find our Telegram and our Twitter. My Twitter is at Edge Ventures underscore. And I have the Telegram link there, and I'll show you guys real quick. AIXBT um, just had, in crypto, money goes where how is it? Yeah, money goes where attention flows, uh, and attention is everything. I'd argue it's the only metric other than price that you should really be paying attention to. Other metrics can obviously be helpful, but it is the metric to pay attention to. So you can see here, this was on
Oh, let me share the
Tuesday.
screen. All right, there it is.
Yeah, on Tuesday, we posted that AIXBT's rumored to be making a deal with Wintermute. If you're not familiar with Wintermute, they are the blue chip market maker. They market make Goat, market make I think Bonk or Whiff, one of those big $1 billion memes, and the fact that people are associating them with this at 200 million is very bullish. We also posted on Tuesday Pepe versus AIXBT, fourth in mindshare. This is all of crypto. So Pepe 2% mindshare, AIXBT. Pepe's at a 10 billion market cap. So this thing is obviously punching above its weight, and this was an update at 180 mil, so it's not moved much. What's up? What now, Alex? Like 250 mil?
Yeah.
So this was the setup that we posted at 180 mil. Um, AXPT update ripped out of this flag, stopped short of 300 mil, came down with the rest of the market, showing a lot of strength. Do not fade strength on a down day. That's key. I've been adding to my long-term spot bag, expecting 400 million to 1 billion, and yeah, I'm sticking to that target. I think, you're I don't need to do any more TA. I think your TA was spot on. So that's also one of the big. So Farcoin and AXBT are our top two picks in the AI meta right now. And you might think, they're already high market cap, like we already missed them. Uh, what you have to understand is like the AI meta is just getting started. It's only Goat came out like 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, and the whole market caps are already at 7 billion. If you compare that to like the value that's projected to be created by AI, it just doesn't make sense for this to stay this low. And the leaders are really going to be where liquidity concentrates. So it's going to be Goat, Farcoin, AIXBT. Um, those are our like blue chip picks, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess we can move on. Or is
Yeah.
there
Yeah. Just one. Just
anything else in
just
the
one thing I
AI
want to.
space? Yeah.
Yeah, just one thing I want to add is what you just said. Um, if you're new to crypto, you're going to start seeing things. They're going to go parabolic. You're going to think, oh, like it can't go higher, but it's going to go higher. And just keep that in mind. Whenever you think it won't go, it will go, right? And with that
Yeah.
being said, I do want to. Anything else you want to add? I'm going to pull up a one here.
No, I think it's a good point. I think like uh, there's a lot of traps you could fall into. Obviously, you don't want to chase like all the green candles you see and FOMO in, but if you have a thesis and you have a strategy to get in, and the chart is moving aggressively away, not giving you an entry, you have to think like just like when we started the Bitcoin show, like the Bitcoin overview. People are aggressively aping for a reason. There's something that resonates with the market about that coin, something that it has that other coins don't have. And I think one of my favorite analogies of kind of how it works with these winners is you bet on altcoins like you would bet on a prize fighter, right? If someone's undefeated, they're 50-0, they're the Mayweather of altcoins. Why are you going to bet on a loss when you could just simply bet they're going to keep winning? And similarly, why would you bet on a losing boxer when you could just bet on the winner? So, is this a point I want to make of like winners keep winning, strength begets strength. The crypto market is all about momentum, and if you figure out how to ride the momentum, then you'll make a lot of money.
Yep, spot on, man. All right, and then we had another little gem here. It's called Tardy. We saw this one a little bit earlier. I know Henry sent it to me, at a lower market cap. But it's this one's on Sui, and let's just kind of zoom out really quick and let's look at. Yeah,
Exactly what I was saying. This is aggressively, the market is not giving any entries.
yeah. So if you look at it in the daily, this is just green candles all around, right? And I mean, this one came out 5 days ago, and within 5 days, It pulled like a 500, no, 550x. I think that's a 50x, right? Yeah.
But I mean, if you take it from the,
I mean, if you take it from the bottom, then
been out for a week, it's gone. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we're talking about some insane numbers, but no,
thousand X.
this is very interesting. It's a Sui meme that looks like it's programmed to do a lot of damage, but let's just kind of get into the TA here really quick. Uh, and it's kind of it's kind of beautiful how TA works. Uh, as you can see here, we're starting to see uh, trends being I'm sorry, support and resistance being set up here, right? We make another high, we retest that. Let me zoom in here really quick. If we go here, right, we make a high, we dip a little bit, then we go higher, we retest that low, right? That support region, and then we rip. And guess what happens? We do that again multiple times. We pump, we do the same thing here, we retest, and then we continue to go, right? We're testing the previous higher high, right? So that becomes support. And what do we do again? Here, we went all the way out to like 30 million market cap. We retested the 19 million, 20 million market cap, which was a psychological level in general to see if we would hold, right? And eventually there was no more strength. And you can see the strength being lost as you can see the RSI, right? It just gets lower and lower and lower, right? So strength is leaving. Volume is also, and on this last one, the volume's decreasing, right? You start to see the volume dying out here, and then that's when the selling starts. And then you have, people just massively nuking the chart, right? All the way into the next support region. And then, that was perfect entry. If you'd have told me, hey, how does this chart look at this wick? I would have said that looks incredible. That's a buy, automatic buy. And so then you
Yeah,
have this
perfect.
opportunity.
That concept of flipping resistance to support, right? That's perfect pivot right there. Perfect pivot point for the market to shift from a downtrend to a uptrend.
Yeah. And most of it's going to be, and I've seen this, I've been looking at shitcoins for quite some time, right? I've been in the gutters for a while now. And that's what you see for a lot of these, right? You see a lot of, massive pumps, retests. When the retest doesn't happen again, I'm automatically bearish because it just means that we're going to continue to break, right? There are those
Yeah,
situations where we go back down and maybe do like a consolidation, but I come back to look at those again, right? And so let's just kind of see what we're seeing for this one. I mean, again, crazy strength on this one. Just overall ignoring that bearish divergence. I usually do the count of threes, right? 1, 2, 3. Actually, it was right. I'm not gonna lie to you. That third one was the selling point, right? That was the end of it before that dump. And now what we're continuing to do is see how we're gonna react next steps. But I just saw something here. Um, so this diagonal line. Yeah, it's interesting. So we came up, we got rejected. I did the same thing with AAA, which was a coin we had in what was it in Sui as well. But
yeah,
I mean, this is important to hold this level here. If we break the 19, this is bearish, and I think we're probably going to go back down to 12 and then maybe 10, right? So I
yeah,
definitely keep an eye out on that if you're invested in this coin. Um, but overall, um, in the scenario that we do pump again, I could see this going to approximately 50. I would say 50 million market cap. Do you want to share anything about like the project or what it is or the meme in general?
yeah. I think there's some background we can give because we've been very bullish on not just Sui but the whole Sui ecosystem, specifically Sui meme coins. It's been a focus of ours. Other besides AI, another focus that where we think there's really a lot of opportunity in the market. So I want to just quickly touch on why we think Sui is going to have that continued strength and why there's going to be further opportunity there, right? So, if you see just how aggressive this move has been from the lows on August 5th. I actually saw a tweet. I don't have it here, but Ansem tweeted like the top gainers in large caps, and Sui was the top one. And it goes back to the analogy I made. Like, this is the Mayweather right now. This is the Conor McGregor in his prime. It's not someone you want to bet on, or maybe Khabib would be a better one, but uh, it's not someone you want to bet against because the market's telling you this is the leader. This is the chosen one of the cycle. And if you compare to what happened again, like we look at the past at because patterns typically repeat, and everyone's looking for like what's going to be the next soul this cycle, and we look at soul when it broke out of definitely moved slower than it is. I think a good comparison is right here, right? When you had this double bottom here at $2, and then you break this all-time high at $5, right? Like the same price, obviously not market cap, but the same price as Sui. And what happened after that? Now this is a leader. Now liquidity has a focal point where it concentrates, and it would go on to run to 230, right? And I think Sui, while it's not going to give the same multiple, it's showing that same type of strength as Solana, and I think it's just getting started. Also, if we look at wow, this is so we posted this also in the Telegram that Sui would be outperforming Solana in the near term, and again, head and shoulders broke out, retested here. If we zoom in, we can see that it retested. So showing a lot of strength against Solana, which was the former leader, right? And against Bitcoin, this is probably the most bullish chart of them all, if I remember correctly. Yeah, looking to there's this wick here. I wouldn't count this wick. I think we're firmly in price discovery versus Bitcoin, which is if you think about again BTCD showing that alt season is just starting. This is a really bullish chart. You definitely want to keep an eye that it doesn't drop below here the old all-time high, but extremely bullish Sui. So what does that mean? We want to amplify our Sui gains. We know Sui is going to do a Solana like move, whether it goes to 10, 15, $20. We know it's headed higher, and that means there's going to be opportunity in the ecosystem, right? So one of our favorite categories to check here is Sui meme coins. And Tardy is a brand new meme coin that we just saw run 0 to 20 million in a week, right? This wasn't happening outside
No,
of Seoul
in less
or
than a week, like
Base.
6 days, 5 days.
Yeah,
This is what
and you can see
this is why you guys have to tune into our because we're giving you some like live alpha stuff. So if you're not following, then you never get that stuff. But yeah, go ahead. We'll show
exactly,
Lofi in a second. Like we gave you guys Lofi at 30 million market cap, and please show us the chart.
exactly. So Lofi is now the biggest meme coin on Sui. You remember we were talking about Hippo for a while. We didn't think it was the best risk return. It's a derivative of Mu Dang, so we weren't that bullish on it. And this just happened, I think, yesterday actually. So I'll show you guys where we did tweet Lofi at. I believe it was 40 million, right?
No, 30 million. It was like 35 million.
Yeah. So this was 0.035. Lofi in the
30.
Sui ecosystem seems bullish. DCAing into this is not a bad idea. Place to DCA can be now or at the 0.028 if we get it all the way down there. This one could just run, and boy did it run after. That was at 3 cents, and if we look at it now, that was around a 30 million market cap, and it's trading at 18 cents now. So you're looking at it's a
6x.
6x, right? Since what, a week ago? It's
Yeah.
crazy. And this one was crazy. Like immediately came out, very quickly ran to 10 mil. And if we switch over to the daily, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and you're at 40 mil. Absolutely nuts. And we could see something similar with Tardy, right? But this one, I will say, was much more aggressive than Tardy. It never, once it flipped 20 million, it never got below. It made this flag, the setup that we posted, and it just never, no one let it go below. Held a support flagged for, looks like a long time, really, if you consider how fast it went to 40 mil. Went on to flag for like 10 days. And some news came out that Wintermute, again, we just talked about AI XBT, how Wintermute was accumulating. Wintermute had a partnership with Lofi. And once that came out, we're off to the races. And again, you want to be betting on that Mayweather, that winning champion fighter. Once they show you, this is like buying stock in Mike Tyson when he's like 18, 19. He's just coming out of the amateur circuits, the trenches here below 10 million. But boy, does he have a lot of potential, and he's knocking everyone out first round. So, and once that Wintermute, that's like getting signed by like the UFC, right? He's ready for the big leagues, and I really think this is going higher. I personally have a bag of this, and I didn't buy it too far away from here, honestly, because I remember with the base ecosystem when there was this meme called Toshi, and it was the biggest meme on base, just like Hippo was for a long time. And guess what? This new meme called Brett came out, and now Brett is one of the biggest memes in the space, right? So this really reminded me of that situation where this shows like, no, actually, I'm the boss, I'm the leader, and now once you're above 100 million, guys, the targets change. It goes, the targets become half a billion and a billion. And if you're partnered with someone like Wintermute, and again, not on exchanges yet, and Sui keeps running the way it has, there's no reason why all the meme coins on Sui are only 600 million. I think Solana meme coins are at 20 billion. There's going to be at least one or multiple memes above a billion. And if you're going to bet on one, you'll probably want to bet on Lofi. And I know I have NFA, but yeah, that's really the thesis. I think in terms of TA, if you get any dip to 150, even 120, I mean, I think anywhere below, as long as you're above this kind of impulse here, 100 mil, which isn't unheard of in meme coins, like you're targeting, that's your downside, which is what your downside is 45% from here. Not saying it's going to get there, but you could DCA, and then you're targeting 500 mil to a billion. And there's really, I think, one of the easiest layup trades in the market right now. And anything to add there, Alex? Maybe you can do some TA, because all I see is just buy any dips aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, man. I mean, this chart has been insane, and we've had. I mean, that's what I like my charts save here, right? And look at that. It just we met the first target, and then honestly, I reposted the last time I reposted on the chat was when we got here, because the rest was just history. I mean, look at that. That's insane. And one thing I didn't like about this is we didn't have a retest. I was like, if we would have had a retest down to here, this region, the 4 cents. Oh man, the disasters I would have done, right? I would have probably aped like, I don't know, all my net worth.
Just sorry to cut you off, but the reason I think it would have retested if it was a normal meme.
If it was a normal
that
exactly.
Had normal price action and normal qualities, but you got to remember that the reason it broke out is because Wintermute partnered with them, and Wintermute has only ever never partnered with a meme on Sui. So it's like Wintermute is the kingmaker, and they said, "Yep, this is the one. This is the horse we're riding." And everyone knows Wintermute's a blue chip market maker. So I think that recess might have happened if Wintermute wasn't involved. But the thing is, they were, and that's kind of what happens.
No, you're absolutely right. And I was actually going to follow up with that to say if it was a normal meme coin, maybe would have. But the momentum and the strength it's had, it was out of control. And then we made another flag here, and then the rest is history, right? You can look at that as a flag, right? Here. But also, like one of the things I also like to do, I like shapes, and the fun thing about shapes is that it pays off, really, if you catch a good one. But it's also like a cup and handle. It's like a sideways cup and handle, and look at that. Like you can't fade on the cup and handles and the head and shoulders, right? And I keep saying that these are major runners. These charts, right? And so, all right, so we hit what, like 223 cents, right? Which is like 230 million market cap. And if we go back, because it had two big impulses, but let's go back to this big impulse. A few things. Look at that. I don't see us going below the 0.5, to be honest with you. I think that we stay around this area. And if we don't, then maybe the 618. But to see like the 786, which is a great support region, like as you could see, that became a great support region. I honestly doubt it. I don't know that we'll actually get to see something like that again. We'd be lucky, right? We'd be lucky to then add in more. Maybe some FUD comes in. That's probably the only time I could see this dip. Otherwise, this is going to be unheard of, man. Like, we should see these two levels hold, the 12 cents or the 14 cents. But if we don't, then I mean, that's it. Maybe we just retest this top, kind of like what is it, Pepe? We've done this with like the bigger ones, right? With the bigger memes, all it does is just retest and it just continues to go higher. And we kind of just retest it, and maybe, the next leg starts.
Is there a wick there? I can't see on the screen.
Yeah. Here, let me, yeah, the wick is all the way up to here.
No,
You see
no,
it?
on the orange line. Is there a wick on the 0.3 too?
No wick. No wick.
Okay, so maybe there is that retest coming then.
Yeah, maybe there is this one, right? Or maybe it was that one already, and I'll zoom in here. So that's the tricky thing. It's not 100%. It's not certain, but let me show you guys this retest. It looks like this could have been it, right? It's very minimal, but sometimes,
I
that's
guess front
crypto
run.
does that. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it front runs it, but maybe that's it. I can't guarantee it on this one, but it's definitely one to keep an eye out on in general, just to make sure that the train doesn't leave you. But this is showing bearish divergence in general, right? You see this. We made again, bearish divergence on the RSI means RSI, we've made a high, and then the next higher high, the RSI is a little bit lower, and same thing with the stochastic, right? That's a lower high. And that's showing bearishness. But again, this is the hour time frame. It can be ignored just because the coin is so bullish. 4-hour also kind of looks like it's flipping down, right? Every time the white line, I've set this up on my RSI, crosses the yellow line, then we start seeing there's a lot of selling pressure, basically. But I mean, look at that. The 8 hours looking bullish again, overbought. Wants to come down. 12 hours, same thing. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on the hour, the 4-hour. Let me look at the 15 to see if there's anything here. I mean, yeah, the 15 looks good in general, but I would say just be careful with entries here. But yeah, that's what I have for Lofi.
Yeah, I think you just gave me an idea. I want to take a look at Brett real quick.
Yeah, good call.
Because I think this is a Brett like play. Because if you think about like where did memes first really go to that $1 billion level, it was really on the first one was Shib, right? Doge was its
Yeah,
own L1, and Shib was the first token that was a meme coin that went to 1 billion on another chain, which was Ethereum, and then it happened on Solana.
yeah. I'll be
But
right back.
outside of those three, what's up?
I'll be right back.
Did I cut out or?
No, man. I mean, I'll be right back. You just keep rolling.
Oh, okay, yeah. Outside of those three, there hasn't really been any other chains with $1 billion memes until Base, and then you have This is the base ecosystem. Brett, you know, was the first meme coin on base to go to a billion. And if we go to the other top memes, uh, like these top three, Shib, Pepe on ETH, Bonk, Whiff, Floki is also on ETH, Bonk and Whiff are on Solana. So everything's except Brett is on Solana or ETH. So we're betting that Lofi is going to be the first meme on Sui to go to a billion. And if we look at Brett, like the also very quickly ran up to in almost like 15 days, ran up to 200 million. And the reason I wanted to take a look at this is maybe this can give us like a roadmap for where Lofi's going to go. So if we look at like the psychological levels here of 200 million, looks like you got some resistance. Again, flip to support. But if you zoom in here, it did have this crazy wick here. Just bear with me here. So this is really what I'm interested in. This is kind of where Lofi is at now. Looks like it topped out at 160. Are you back?
Actually, no, that's almost exact if you think about it. Because we just hit the 200 mil market cap, right? So the 200, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it hit 220. Lofi hit 230.
238.
Right?
Yeah, 28 cents or 38, yeah. 228, yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, I don't have it open anymore. But yeah, so then you see some FUD comes out. Maybe it only retests 150. I'm not sure what happened over here. And what you'd look for in that scenario is like, does it make, even though there's.
I'm sorry, man. I remember that FUD. It was because Crash, he came out that he had his like massive bundled wallet or whatever, right? And that's when that happened. Yeah.
That's hilarious. And now like people don't care about bundles at all. I mean they do, but yeah, so it's just like not saying exactly this is going to happen, but it's a potential roadmap, right? But here's the key thing here is you flip this old close here at 220, at 200, and boom, one retest, runs to 400 million, runs to almost half a billion, another retest, higher, low, and then you're off to the races again. That sideways bullish price action, not sideways, but up and to the right. And this is kind of what I expect for Lo-Fi, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know if it's going to get to a Brett $2 billion level, but if you want to play it safe, I think, Alex, you're right. We could see maybe a retracement, and you could play something like this. Like, okay, it's gonna, if it rips above 200, it's gonna retest it at some point. So on that retest, that's your chance to get in, and as long as you don't go too far below, then you're targeting 1 billion. And the rest is history. Brett went on to hit 1.8. Looking like it's probably going to keep going also.
Yeah.
So anything to add to this one, Alex?
Yeah, I think that's it. It was a good cover. What's the next one?
We've been going for like an hour. Is there any other on your list? I think we covered a pretty good amount. I think those are personally what I'm most bullish on: Farcoin, AXBT, Tardy, Lofi. I think you're positioning in a rising tide, right? With where growth and capital is going to come into the market. So, anything else on your side you want to cover?
Yeah, just one last one that I did want to talk about, just to keep on the radar in general, and we can call it a day. Let's see. So I have this. What's
Pretty
that?
bullish Tardy. I'm very bullish Tardy.
Uh,
I'll just make one more point. Like Lofi, when it goes to 500 million, a billion, whatever it's gonna hit, that raises the ceiling for every other meme, and it's like finding another prize fighter.
yeah, spot on, man. So yeah, so the last one I want to look at, just in terms of the chart, is trenches. And then Henry, you can give a little bit of background if you want on this one. But essentially, something that I'm looking at in terms of the chart. Devs have been buying this whole time, right? So it's all buy, devs buying, 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 right? We went all the way up to like 10 million market cap. We dipped down to 3 million market cap, and this is like a healthy retracement in general, right? And what I'm seeing is this sideways action overall, right? So we're going, sideways from these levels, right? So from like 3 all the way up to 5 and back down, right? Wouldn't surprise me if we come back a little lower, maybe stay here halfway, and then continue to the upside, right? So there's just something to keep an eye out if you want to play. I think again, this is just health. In my opinion, this is healthy accumulation zones, right? And then eventually, boom, you get the rip up. And we've talked about this specific thing in the past, right? Accumulation, and then moving to the higher side. So yeah, just keeping an eye on this one. Do you want to add a background to this one, Henry?
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is the same dev as Velodrome is actually building out a product that I think is called Trenches or it's related to Trenches. He hasn't said anything about what the token's going to do, but it's not just a meme coin. And if you're familiar with Velodrome, they also created Aerodrome, which is I think like a $2 billion project on base. So you're looking at a $3.6 million project here into a dev that's created billions in terms of a protocol, one of the most used and profitable in crypto. So definitely on the degen side in terms of market cap, but I think it might have just come out today, right, or yesterday. So I think people have literally, it's a Friday. Like people, only the hardcore people like us have found this, and I think at 3 mil, your downside is probably capped at 2 to 1 mil, and this, if it is from that guy, I expect he's going to ship something impressive or at least make a splash, and this thing could, you know, even if the product doesn't deliver, there's going to be some hype around this. So
Yeah.
pretty bullish on both the TA and fundamentals here lining up, and I think any dips to 3, even 2, anything above 1, even if it goes below that range and deviates back in, is like a fantastic buying opportunity.
Yeah. All right. And then we'll leave it at that. I don't think I have anything more. We've talked about, everything. We've covered SUI. I mean, guys, we've been talking about SUI since like 180, 190, this region. We called the bottom here. We ripped. We made a flag. I mean, we've been calling it all. So just make sure you guys are joining the Telegram. And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Peace.